Civis pacem.
Tarabellum.
Hello and welcome back here again at Tribun, where we are going to present you the board game Tribun in all of its glory. And this game today, the game that we played back then, is called Group Effort. And perhaps I should have, not spoiled the ending.
Yeah, but no one saw it. Hopefully.
Fine.
Do not
Yeah.
rewind the video. Just stay with us. Yeah, and as always, Tribun. Every Friday it's Tribun time. And
That's right.
did you mention the game's name?
I did, I think,
I
twice.
didn't. I
By the
blanked
way,
it. Good.
you see these little towers here, and they have different heights that you can see by their picture. And the size of the tower, which is called a unit, is what makes it move in a certain way. So this one moves one ahead and takes here. This one goes one step on the same color, and then we have all the different kind of movements. And instead of moving or attacking, you could also combine, meaning, let's say you have this empty hexagon, you choose two neighbors that you own, like these are your pieces. Then you can take a certain amount from this hexagon and a certain amount from here, and then you have a new unit, you know? And then the other move that you can do is you pick your own unit, one of them, and then you distribute the pieces on the empty neighboring hexagons and the original field, like such, for example, or you could even undo the move that I did, like that.
Yeah, and considering to be a warlord, you are the one who is forging his army. Now, I would say let's turn on the music by Darren Curtis, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go to work. Yeah, this is one of my nowadays standard approaches to pick this Hastatus, the spearsman from here, to afterwards, by combining further up, form this line you showed us and get a quite solid structure. I mean, due to this, the two servi on this side of the board vanished. They were consumed up in this status basically, and if I combine these two, then I have a lot of spearsmen around, and these are usually quite firm.
They are. And, well, I accidentally skipped a move ahead. What I essentially did up until this point is I collected these three into this unit. If you kind of, look at the left and the right and kind of compare them. And yeah, you did what you said, and I will now create this equus, so we both have gotten rid of this side service, but we have some different approaches.
Yeah, this one is now called SpongeBob because he slurped everything up.
I don't think that's like the character.
Not really. It's just a name.
Wow, what a tongue twister.
This is a kind of a SpongeBob I'd like in my army, so I managed to build one on my own.
But I have now the luxury of creating few equity on this kind of super diagonal. Like, you see how we have all colors assembled and they kind of go like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the disadvantage of further more just chopping away this wall of servi now gives me the opportunity to bully you a little by forming the first ballista And this is basically, the golden rings indicate you can attack around these lines, and when you hit an enemy unit, then the circle turns red. Maybe you saw it, and this unit can basically be attacked, and it's not protected by any means. So, well, this is a threat you have to address.
Yeah, but it's a very simple thing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you actually have to get rid of this one, in my opinion. So that, because this is rather well defended, and if you get rid of this one, you might as well consume up this one as well, and have backwards defense.
And by the way, this is a Centuria, seldom on the board, but when it is, it's very powerful. You see, in the close vicinity, this is a bully who does not fear any kind of melee attack. So,
And, well, actually you're bullying me a little bit here, but...
yeah, but
can
this
fight
is feeble. So yeah,
And-
you skip another one, another time, and now basically I have to choose what to do with this ballista. So far, so bad. It has no real threats it can deliver. I mean, I am attacking this one-eye unit here, but this one is protected very well. So yeah, basically I have to wait or change my plan, and changing plans costs time. So you chase me. Now it's up to you, and this is kind of an in-between move. Yeah, attacking the Tribune.
And I block with this unit.
Very
which
simple.
Kind of forces you to do something here.
Yeah, and I opted for takes. It's reasonable.
It is, yes. I was actually a little bit upset because I had to go here. Now this is, like, worse off than it was before, like, this unit.
But maybe for long-term plans, not so. Because, yeah,
Perhaps.
it's not that fast, and usually a Centuria in the center line is quite useful because you can split up at any time into two equities.
Whoa.
By the way, when you see this flipping here, it's just us repairing the board, even if it doesn't look like that. Yeah. What's concerning, to be honest, is this Equus here. It's not doing anything at the moment, but it's
By the way-
already pointing into my defense line.
Let's address the move that happened was this was kind of the situation. And then you kind of did this and you created asymmetry,
Mm-hmm.
which is an advanced. Well, the move isn't advanced, but the move you can do afterwards is advanced. If you go here, you can combine all of them into the middle instead of just two of them, because they were placed in a symmetrical fashion. And so that's what he's kind of planning to do there.
Yeah, that's true, and that's so bad. I mean, I had all these little spearsmen around, even on the dark hexagons, but now you see huge holes, and you directly go to exploit that. That's miserable. I mean, this dude isn't actually well defended. Yeah, I'm
It's not-
attacking you here. Okay, I'm setting up this so I can counter. I'm chopping away these three, but... okay. To be honest,
It's
that
fair.
was a fair trade. But still, I don't like the fact that you already have 4 pieces close. But admittedly, your Tribune is quite open.
It is, so I don't really hate your position right now.
So the next threat, yeah, you have to close this line, because otherwise I could have, let's say, opened up like that, attacking the Tribune and directly attacking this dude, and then I can just take 4 pieces, but you closed it shut, and at the same time, oh yeah, that's the kind of repair we don't need. You set up the threat here and asking me, well, where is this archer gonna go?
And so what happens is you do this, you kind of look there, but most importantly, you're covering backwards.
Yeah,
And
but I'm
kind of-
already hampered. I cannot really scare you away because I have the same unit, and the moment I'm stepping inside your side of view, you will kill me. So it's very hard. I could do it here because it's protected by this ballista. And still, I cannot make use of this symmetry, especially because it's no symmetry. This one is gone due to the fact that I was combining here, and now this is ugly.
Yeah, which, you know, if you were to do something like that, I will take, and if you don't do something like, well, there are good moves. This is one of them, for example. You can just ignore it. And afterwards you can kind of deal with this, which is a very nice idea.
Now that's, yeah, like in chess, danger levels. Okay, I'm asking you, well, I can take 6 pieces and you can take 4. So who's better off after the deal? But, well, I'm curious, what did you do?
And I did this, I prepared 2 things. Number 1, I want to attack both of these units. So I created counterparts for both of them. For example, like this, I could attack here, or could go like that. But also, and you shouldn't underestimate this threat, is I thought about, well, in the future, let's say this was the position. How about this move? Right? It opens up, and I would like something to be in the way of this ballista so that it cannot directly take me.
Yeah.
That is kind of the thought process.
But stop. This would be rather bad because you can just take. Because I could not take. Because I would die.
Well, actually, I'm not that convinced about it because I can go here with my ballista, and if you take
yeah, okay. If yeah, you're right actually.
it's dangerous. So, and I'm not sure you can win instantly here. Like, if you could win instantly here, then of course black's better. But if you cannot, then this is most certainly death, because if 3 are being taken, which you should take the most things if here's a lot of space, so there's no benefit to leaving there anything there, then we have
this is not actually an instant kill. You can go here, but now the second ballista arrives, and this is honestly speaking.
Now that, because you have to take, and now you can do whatever you want. You have a double attack, and this is covered.
Yeah.
So
Just too many pieces. That would be actually a very nice kind of sacrifice.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
So yeah, I'm doubling up the ballistae, but I'm letting my Tribune alone in a way. And see, I cannot go here. I can attack here, but if you do not offer me a unit, I cannot go. And now it's actually hard to tell how to attack you. And this was ingenious, I have to admit. You did not take, but for those of you not new to the channel, you know what Impero is. In Tribun, it is actually allowed that you temporarily take enemy units as a kind of, what is it? Hostage. Hostage, yeah, and you just exploit the abilities of the unit. So you can act like the unit you captured, and you can act like the one on top, and now it's very powerful.
By the way, I played this move, and I'm not very happy about it. We kind of talked about this earlier. So actually, I'm going to take this move back so that we don't have any issues when undoing the board. But you could have gone here as the black player, and the very interesting thing is neither taking nor walking forward is a viable strategy.
Yeah, we can maybe let's just show it.
Yeah,
This-
for the viewers, so that they can kind of see the situation
Yeah.
and kind of go through in their head while.
Okay. Then stops the video, and now it's up to you. Show us.
And then we can walk through this.
I would say now just walk through. They
So
can stop the video.
The easiest variation is this here, actually. And why this is easier is because this is one move, and first of all, you need to attack. Now, the getaway hexagons are covered, but these are not. And so now it's a question of how you can, get this pattern dealt with. And you do it with this 2-high unit. And now everything is kind of covering everything.
Yeah.
And notice you cannot take one because you remain in your place. Jesus.
The funny thing about it is really if you do not have the Emperor unit, then this entire thing doesn't work. But with the Emperor, it's so powerful and devastating.
And so
Interesting.
the other variation,
Yeah.
also very fun, is you have to do this. This does not win immediately. You bait the Tribune forward and then you do this.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah, now the white hexagons are actually defended by the 1-high units,
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
that's really okay. But what could you do instead when you move there? Then do not run away, stand your ground, and call another ballista on the board.
The
What?
valuable insight here is you want to prohibit a double attack.
Yeah.
That's terrible. And so you can achieve it like this, actually. And
You cut away the free room for the enemy unit to disperse.
and now, I don't know, the best thing probably would be taking 4 things with this one and then being taken, and it's a trade.
Yeah.
It was scary, but I
But-
don't think you have anything.
Now I would prefer playing white. Why?
Exactly.
Because I have 2 big dudes already. Your Tribune is quite naked, and I can try to make use of this center file.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
maybe it was a good choice to not do that.
Yeah, I was also thinking, you could do this, but you would just decombine.
Combine to no. Yeah,
Like this.
with
It doesn't
with
work.
tempo, that's really bad.
So while this would be a very nice variation, there are ways to combat it, and you shouldn't play something that is bad unless your opponent makes an oopsie. So I also didn't see this, but I wouldn't have played it either way.
This is mean. You use it like a shuttle bus. So
Yeah.
you move your archer against the natural pattern of movement of the unit by just using the unit beneath to carry out the movement. That's so interesting about Tribun, I have to say. Well, and you did what every decent player does. You combine up so that you can make a run for it.
And this is a very simple thing. At first you only see this, but at second glance you see this,
Yeah.
which is the main intention, and so we will have a little bit of a trade here, but I will win 1 piece in this
You're
variation
far better off.
here.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take here and it would be even, but yeah, I don't think you should. That's a waste of a move, I think.
Yeah. Now tempo is very important, because still I have these 3 satellites swirling around my head, and you are so fast now because the board is emptied up. You have space, and when you have space, the bigger units with the long range abilities become very, very, very important. Yeah, we talked about a similar situation earlier. Now I'm using the remaining piece to close this shut and simultaneously attacking your Tribune. But now what? And consider when you have time trouble. I mean, I have 1 minute 40 on the clock. You have 40 seconds. Dude, I was hoping for you to crumble under the pressure. But you didn't do me the favor.
Simple move.
Yeah.
You attack. You protect every field in your vicinity, and I mean, this is not totally dead, but you can take 5 things, and that's a big no-no. You shouldn't do something like that.
Maybe I could have opted for something like that. It would be kind of a trade. It would be kind of a trade when you attack. I mean, you basically have to take now, right? Because otherwise, your Tribune will be screwed. If you run away and you leave him, and you do nothing, I'm attacking you already. So this is actually quite interesting, and you have no move to attack me instantly. So when you take, let's say here, I would retake, and this is a trade, yes.
Yeah, but this does not leave me in favor.
Okay, this hero here plays a very vital role, but it's tense.
Yeah, and I don't think I would have engaged in this. I'm also not quite sure what I would have done about it, but probably just moving away, just ignoring it. But this is your idea. You attack me and you block me from taking you, which is one thing you can only do to a Centuria.
And you? And now, another crucial moment. And looking from a distance, maybe it would have been better to, let's say, do something like that. Or maybe better that. Because keeping this one alive. Now I'm attacking you. And I'm X-ray defending the nearest of these two. Because it's very, very... I cannot get both out. I have to free them, and that would have been more important than to just give you some fear and you run, and that was really bad. Oh.
Yeah, perhaps. And now, actually, you could have gone here, which I think... No, you could not have. That would have lost material. But now you do this, it's a double attack and a threat on my Centuria, and I take here, and you pose another threat, so now you could theoretically take 6 and take my Tribune at the same time, but I do this.
And we were discussing it earlier. This is one possibility, but the other would be to just... Now the Tribune can take the entire Equus here, accompanied by the Centuria. Even that would have been possible, but yeah, you chose that, and it's also very powerful.
Yeah, and so the reason why I did that during the game is you cannot really easily get this one out. I mean, you could do this, but this is miserable, and then you take...
attacked. And this one is still guarded, so you cannot take. And I'm
so this is just miserable. You can also do nasty things like this now, where you, well, maybe not now. You would first trade off these 2 pieces, but if they were gone, this would be a nice thing you could take here, here, and here. So, by the way, it's not realistic that this would happen, because you would take with that, but Yeah.
I believe at this point desperation kicked in. Always having a look on the clock. Now it's just 14 seconds in the think tank. I mean, the time format is you have 20 seconds for each move, but you have to keep in mind you have to carry out the entire move. That means sometimes to pick several pieces and place them on different hexagons, and this also takes time. So it's not just about thinking. Yeah, I'm attacking here. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm attacking here, but you're just doing Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm just taking everything that I can.
And it's tasty.
Now, there are several things you can do in this position. One of them would be actually something like this.
Very, very simple. Attack and taking 2 more units, more pieces.
I don't think that's possible after the move you made, exactly. And so I opted for walking away.
No, it would be. It would be.
I was my Tribun.
Yeah, okay. Why didn't you take? Because I would turn into a Sagittarius myself, or you would turn into a Sagittarius, so I didn't take. I would exchange another material, and I'm still down material, so any exchange from now on just benefits you.
No, I'm doing this. I'm threatening to take, so you have to combine, which you promptly do.
Yeah. But now I'm
But I do this.
Yeah, very important. Keep an eye on this hexagon so that I cannot move with tempo attacking you now. But you didn't fall for it.
And the deeper idea behind this is you're on the gray color complex. I want you to keep doing stuff on this color complex. I mean, you could have taken there. And I actually thought you would do this. But in this case, I would have walked away, and in the future, I would have taken here. And then we would have a very similar structure, where I try to combine these two on a white hexagon. Which currently is not very good, because I could be taken, but the idea is to have 2 and 4 on the same color, which is not that easy to create. What you didn't take here, you went here, which is reasonable. You want to combine.
Maybe I want to combine, or I want to have at least enough material. And it looks like I have a chance. Yeah, I'm attacking here, and I have several pieces in your vicinity. Maybe I can somehow turn this game, but this dude still is a hero.
He really is, and I now do this because I want to confine you on your color.
And I have 7 seconds in the tank, so I didn't see this. That would have actually been a very good move.
I'm not that sure. I'm not that sure because I see this is a very nasty thing, which kicks you out to this side of the board.
Okay, maybe, but I have escaping chances.
Yeah, you have escaping chances, but you have this, and then I would do that. And it's really ugly.
No! Now it's... So, now I'm at least attacking you. You can split in a way that you are solid.
Yeah,
but
I would probably do something like that.
Yeah?
Come on.
But then this white one falls.
Well, yeah, but I could protect him.
Or that. I mean, well, you as well have not that much time in the tank, so...
I would get rid of this move anyhow. That's not the point. So,
okay, next time, buddy.
This is what happens. I try to get you from, or stop you from getting close to me, which is very important. So you cannot combine here, and you combine there instead.
Yeah, the only possible spot. Not very attractive, but... Yeah.
So then I do this, which kind of creates a little barrier. So if you stood here, you couldn't
I would be
reach.
dead.
Yeah, but if that was no possibility, you could still not reach me because I have two equity in this formation, which is very important, and this is covered as
the
well.
Tribun is defending himself with a sword in his hands. Yeah, but with that many equity around, I have really no chance of getting close. Yeah,
That's
no, I have this feeble archer. I mean, it's just not enough.
Now we
Whoa,
have
double attack. And yeah, see, double attack, yes. If I could have gone here to protect him, everything is sound and solid, but I couldn't. Because of this stupid little hero standing at the edge of the board for the entire game.
Exactly.
It's excellent.
Everything works.
Yeah, there is no better place than this.
And so now you cannot hold your position with a Centuria Tribune. Realistically speaking, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Especially if you cannot get close to the enemy, which right now you cannot, and I just attack you and push you around. So that's what we're gonna witness in the next couple of moves. And this is actually not that great. And I just noticed that this is not that great of a move either that I did here, because you could have taken.
Oh yeah.
But if you take here, perhaps there's like a meta reason why this doesn't work. I'm not convinced, but
I mean, you could. No. Yes, you can do this.
But then this.
Yeah, maybe, but
So I'm not sure.
yeah, very. Yeah, and you are already under attack. Maybe, yeah.
So
Okay,
I
but
don't know.
I didn't see it.
It's like a maybe. It could be really bad for either person to take here. That would kind of take a little bit deeper analysis, but
I mean, it's ridiculous. I have 3 seconds on the clock.
yeah, and now we take here.
Just holding on to dear life. And you
And
chop
now
around. You just chop away everything.
And you kind of kindly gather all your pieces so that I can take them in one swoop.
Now at least I know how it feels when you get chopped this way. Normally this is my style of play. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the Centuria, you shouldn't play around. You just need to win. And so that's why
This is
you try to
ridiculous.
take everything. But you don't always have to take everything. Like, you see how I kind of threatened to take everything from you? So even though you can take 3, these 3 pieces are not the same as these 3.
No.
Alone, if you look at the percentage.
Hey, 12 pieces up. That's ridiculous.
And now we have
Yeah.
this kind of situation.
And now that's where the group effort comes from.
Yeah. By the way, it's kind of challenging here to find the right move. I mean, if you go here, for example, then the enemy is just gonna try to walk away. Well, actually, they cannot go there, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not that clear because now you cannot really move forward, and it kind of sucks. So that's why in this position you have to actually combine, I think, at least.
It's at least one way to deal with the situation. I mean, the day when the first computers arrive playing Tribun will be very interesting.
Yeah, but this kind of pushes you backwards, and it leaves you to go to 3 places. So you pick this one.
You're usually going sideways to at least try to slip away is a good choice.
Now you could try to go here,
Yeah, accompanied by
but
the archer.
I kind of thought about this, and I was not convinced, because if you go here, you could make an argument for like this, but what now?
Yep.
Because now you don't have a lot of backup for this to move. So that's why I disregarded this variation. And I came up with this neat little jump, which looks kind of funny how it's being placed there, and these two kind of cover these hexagons and this one, and this archer covers this hexagon. And because of this and this, I force you to go here, and now you're confined. You cannot move anymore.
I'm not really sure with the look on the clock. You had less on the clock in the former move, or in the previous move, but I guess I granted you some seconds because it's usually very hard to find such a thing, but you didn't take really that long.
Well,
I'm really astonished that you find such a tactic in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, well, the thought process is like very methodical. You kind of go, I have to prohibit you from moving. So these are hexagons that are of concern, so I place
You
3.
need the 3, yeah.
So then it's kind of a question of how could I prevent you from going here, which is like the last hexagon, and then you can place 2 here. Because 1 here, you can calculate it through, but it's not that great. So now you can only go here, and you think, well, how can I mobilize these? And so you don't want the enemy to go here, so 1, and then you place 2 here to do this. And that's how you find this. Because you kind of go through step by step.
But just in a couple of seconds, I mean, my CPU would burn.
Yeah, I just love this.
Yeah.
This art of catching the enemy.
It is arts. This is really beautiful.
Now this little donut will break up into this formation and win.
And I mean, how on earth? This is next, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot take because it's protected. I cannot move here or here because it's protected. I cannot move here because of this dude, and here because of this archer from the previous move. And it's over.
And so you take...
I grant you a very deserved victory, and the slave is a tool. Yeah. I think
the slave is a tool.
Funny, yeah? Kind of.
I'll fight you on this.
Yeah, so this wraps up the whole episode. Thanks you for watching. And if you are interested in Tribun, where to get it, well, write us an email. Several people already did. We package a nice little parcel for you and send it anywhere around the globe. And you have Tribun on your own. You can go down to the description, find our homepage. There you can download basically anything you need, especially the manuals for how to play. You can go to we have a playlist for how to play Tribun in the way we are presenting it on an exhibition, where you basically start with the 90% rules, and when you get accustomed to that, you can go to the full rule set. Well, thanks for watching. and hopefully see you next Friday. See you soon.
On Tribun.